let me know like who you are, what city you represent from. How are we connected? So we can start there tonight, and then I promise you I'm going to jump in. I have something to share with you all from my heart, and I really hope and I pray that it really helps you on your journey. That's my goal for tonight, is to give you some tools and some nuggets to help you on a journey. Hey, Tanisha, what's going on? My church member. I think it's Aaliyah, Savannah. We met at Fire Conference. Awesome. Jessica, what's going on, sis? Okay, whoa. Okay, wait a minute. Nisha, hey Nisha, I miss you. I hope you're doing good. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Break the Cycle Challenge. Hey Jessica, thanks for tuning in. Hey Cree, it's a dope name. You're from, okay, awesome. Nashville sister. Jessica from the challenge. Hey Bontrice. Instagram, you one of my Instagram family? Awesome. Hey Heidi from the house. James from A&M Yearbook. Wow. James, thank you so much for tuning in. You know how far we go back? That's like 12 years. Hey, Tasha, I love you. Hey, Chanel. Yanni from Detroit. Paris. Hey, my love. Erica, Saving the City. Awesome. You were part of the fast with us. Awesome. Hey, Tanisha, Deshaun from DC. That's what's up. Y'all. Okay, I can't go through everybody, but this is amazing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Awesome. What's up, my Daytona Beach family on here? My New York family is on here. I'm giving y'all a big old air hug right now. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to tell you all a little bit about me. As some of you all may know me, some of you all may not know me. Some of you may have just gotten to know me through the Go Getter Confidential, which was so amazing. Shout out to Candace and Epic Fab Girl and my community over there. I'm super excited to be connected with everything that they're doing. And so, but my name is Brittany Morton. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I currently live in Huntsville, Alabama. I've been living in Huntsville, which I'm gonna tell y'all my story later, but I've been living in Huntsville since 2010. So I moved back here in 2010 to take a job at Alabama A&M University, which is where I went to school. And so while I was there, my background is graphic design and marketing. So I helped open the wellness center there. I came to back to Huntsville. I wasn't like saved for real, but in the midst of all of that, I started a ministry, which I didn't know was a ministry at the time, by the name of Saving the City. And over the years, it grew until it got to a point where I transitioned from my job at the wellness center to running Saving the City full time. So I've been doing that. I've been doing Saving the City for almost 10 years. I've been running it full time for 4 years. Almost 4 years, something like that. And so that's where a majority of my time has been spent. So I have been developing and equipping women for almost a decade now, and I'm really good at it. Like I'm finally getting to the place, where you get to the place and you got to own what you're good at. Like I was born to do this. I was born to do what I do, but it's taken me a long time to learn that and to own that. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to set this platform up tonight and have this conversation with you, because everywhere I go, the very things that I have run from, the very things I've struggled with, y'all bear with me. I forgot my tissue because I know I'm going to cry during this. I've already cried today. And as I was preparing for this and God was really dealing with me about the direction we were going to go in tonight, I was tearing up thinking about it. So just so y'all know, that's just how we're going to roll tonight. So I had to learn to own what I'm good at and what I've been graceful and what I've been created for. And one of the many things of that is empowering people and helping to equip women and all those type of things. So as I share with you tonight, I'm not sharing from a person who just woke up and it was like, hey, I'm about to do this. I've been doing this. I've been coming alongside women. I've been coming alongside men, helping them to navigate through life and sharing my story and really empowering people and giving them the tools so that they can live successfully. So I'm really, really excited to now come into a place of like, yeah, Brittany, this is who you are. And this is what you're called to do, not just in the context of what you built, but for the world. And so that's a little bit about me. If you've been following me, I'm super transparent. I believe that's how transformation and breakthroughs happen. So it's like, I ain't been through what I've been through just for me. I'm learning that I've been through what I've been through for other people, right? And so, so that's a little bit about me. I got notes because I like to talk, and I wanted to be sure I told you what you're going to get out tonight, what you're going to expect, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So because how my attention span is set up, y'all, a few things about me: I talk really fast. I can start preaching even when I'm not trying to preach. I'm just super passionate. Let me give you some disclaimers. I talk fast. I get loud. I may have to jump up and run around the room depending on how this goes. And my attention span is short. So if you have a question, I'm going to have a Q&A at the end of this. So if you have a question, I love the dialogue. Y'all can talk to each other, but I'm going to try not to look at this as often because I'll get into a whole nother conversation and y'all like, Brittany, what's up, girl? So I'm just letting y'all know how this is gonna go. Okay. All right. So you can, yes, use the Q&A for your box of questions. That's my coach, y'all. Okay. She in here helping me get this together. Okay. So a few things that we're gonna do as we're getting started tonight. So I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about me, tell you a little bit about my background, and I want to talk about why you got on this webinar tonight. All right. So I think there are like 3 or 4 categories of why you got on this webinar. You're in one of the areas. You're either one of my friends that love me. Shout out to my support system that y'all just rock with me. Thank you. You're either on here because of that. You're either on here because you've been watching the show Insecure. You saw the flyer. You was like, let me see what this girl talking about. You're on here because maybe you've heard me speak before and you're like, I think she a little dope. Let me see what she's talking about. Or you're on here because something resonated with you when I shared a little bit of my story with this post, or maybe somebody invited you on to say, you know what? I can relate to something and I want to tune in to see what she's talking about. I believe no matter how you got on here tonight, whether you're a friend, whether you just saw it, whether you like, I support, whatever the case may be, I believe that we all have something in common. I believe that you're on here tonight because there is a deeper work that's happening in you in the level of your confidence and the level of how you see yourself and what you're called to do and everything that you're called to be. I believe that you're on here tonight because you may not know how to get to the next level, but you know that there's a next level that you're called to. You may not know what the more looks like for your life, but something on the inside of you is telling you, I am not satisfied with where I am. There has to be more to my life. There has to be more to me. There has to be more to what I'm called to do. Like, have you ever been in a place where you're like frustrated by your own potential? Y'all, for so long, and I'm just going to be real honest because I don't know how it was to be. There have been so many times in my life where I have been frustrated by my potential. I've known that I was gifted. I've known that I make things, but I've known these things, but there have been times where it's like, either I don't know where to start, either I didn't believe in myself enough, either I was comparing myself to another person, or whether these voices in my head that every time I try to take a step forward will remind me of the person I used to be, or remind me, heck, of the stuff I still struggle with. Because how many of you know that you can never wait until you make it or get to a certain place where you're finally ready for the next level? I'm learning, you all, that you're never fully ready. You're never going to get to the place where you have it all together and then you're like, oh, I can help somebody else, or oh, I can teach somebody else. You simply have to get this idea and get this revelation of like, I got to start where I am. I got to help. I may be on level 3 and I really want to go to level 7, but there's somebody on level 1 that needs to know how to get to level 3, and I can help them get there, right? And so I believe that if nothing else, although we may all be in different phases of our life, in different places of our life, I believe there's a pain point that's connecting us tonight. I believe there's an internal frustration that you haven't been able to give language to is the reason why you're on this live. And I got to set this up before we go further, because we got to first identify our why, because we got somewhere I got to get you to tonight, and I want to help you with and give you some tools for, but I got to get you to acknowledge where you are, because that's the point of where transformation happens. For us to be honest and say, when I look in my bank account, I know it don't match what God has put on the inside of me, because I had that happen to me. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. God has been good to me. I get like what I want, and I'm appreciative because I don't ask for much. But I had looked at my account and was like, I'm too gifted. I'm too gifted not to have a lot of money. Have you said that? Like I am gifted. I am like, and you, it is not being cocky. It's not being, but like, really, you are the bomb. You are the bomb. The world should know who you are, and you should be making money for being the bomb. Like, it's just different things like that I had to like come to myself and say, Brittany, what you doing? Because this is great. The level of what you've experienced is great, but I kept hearing there's more, there's more, there's more. And I come to tell somebody here tonight that there is more. Yes, you may be the person in your family that's doing your thing. You may be the one that's been to college. You may be the one that started the business. But I'm here to tell you that God has wanted to shake you up to tell you, I don't want you to get complacent in where you are. I don't want you to get complacent with the tax bracket you're in. I don't want you to get complacent with the relationships in your life. I don't want you to get complacent with what you've accomplished. There is more. Can y'all tap that in the chat real quick as we're setting this up tonight? That there's more to me. There's more to my purpose. There's more healing. There's more money. There's more employees. Whatever it is, you got to stand in agreement, because why is this so important? Because the journey I'm getting ready to invite you on, there has to be a deep why. Come on, y'all. Woo, I'm feeling it now. Y'all, why is this important? Because so many of us have done things in our life, but our why wasn't strong enough. That's why when the wind's blowing, it got hard, then you were like, oh, I'm not doing this anymore. Many of us never, ever come to the place where we choose us and say, I'm going to go through the process of becoming my best self, so that we never, because it's hard. So you got to first get the revelation that there is more. Then you got to get the revelation that I'm worth it. That's a whole nother seminar there. Not only do you have to get the revelation is I refuse to settle for this level. I refuse to settle for this life, but I am worth it. Can I tell you that up until this point in your life, you have proven that everything else was worth it but you. Listen, I have proven that every man I've dealt was worth it. My family is worth it. My ministry was worth it. I would bet on everything else but myself. I would bet on what I built other than betting on myself. I bet on my friends. I'll push them and tell them, you can go, you can do it. I'll bet on the people that I lead and disciple and push them, but I couldn't go myself. I believe that a lot of what's happening right now, because it was unexpected, right? All of this was because God is trying to get your attention and say, I need you to get in your rightful place. I need you to stop hiding in the background. Come on, somebody. And I need you to take your rightful place so that you can be and do everything I've called you to be and do. And you know how to do it because you've been doing it for everybody else. But now it's time for you to say, not only is it more that God has for me, not only is there more in me, but on the other side of that is I'm worth it. You got to know that you are worth the work. You are worth the stuff we're going to uncover tonight, the stuff we're getting ready to dive in. You're worth it. There's a you on the other side of what you've been running from that's saying, if only you'll dig into what hurt. If only you'll ask yourself the hard questions. If only you will make the sacrifice. Everything else that you know that's yours is on the other side of it. So I got to set this up for you, because what I'm going to challenge you to do tonight is not easy. Oh, when you want to really become secure and really become confident, it's not easy. When you really, because that means you got to confront some stuff. That means you got to be honest with yourself in a way you've never been honest with yourself. That means you got to go down some paths that some doors you've shut and you said, I'll never open up that door again. I'll never go. I survived it. I'll never go back there again. But what I've learned in my journey is it's in me doing the hard stuff, y'all. It's in me within myself. It's when I've been able to unlock dimensions in my life that I never even know. Things that I've done that I never even knew that I can do, right? So that's why that's so important. So that's why you're here tonight. That's what connects all of us here, that there's more to us. And the fact that you're worth putting in the work to become everything that God has called and created you to be. All right, so let's talk about this. We're going to get into the topic now that I've set that up for you all. And I got my notes, so y'all just bear with me. I usually don't use them, but I'm going to try to use these notes tonight, all right? And I'll be led however I need to be led from this. So we're going to talk about insecurity. I want to set that up because this is not like one of those topics. That's why, when people sign up, I said, come on, people ready to do some work, or they nosy, one or the other. But I know something about God. It don't matter what your motive is, baby. He'll supersede that thing, slide in, and get you exactly what you want. So I want to encourage you to listen to this entire thing, okay? Because I believe that something's going to be released, if not already, that's going to help you. So let's talk about insecurities, because this is a pretty deep topic. Like, if you're going to be honest about it, this is not, just the frilly things we see on, social media a lot of times, how to make $1 million in 30 seconds, all of the different things that's out there. This is a topic that deals with you. And how many of you know that oftentimes it's so easy dealing with everybody else. It's easy helping everybody else with their problems. I know for many of you, you're probably the person that everybody else comes to, but what happens when it's time to deal with you? What happens when it's time to confront some stuff within yourself? Let me tell y'all a little bit about me and how I came on this journey. So as I told you all 10 years ago, I moved back to Huntsville, Alabama, and I did not expect to live in Huntsville. I went to school here, but I didn't expect to live here. So, but God knew what he was doing. If you've heard my story, I was engaged. Was getting ready to move to another country, and I was there. I was looking for a job. I had gotten a job, and my fiance, he had tried to marry me like 3 times, and we could have done it because he was older. He knew what he wanted, but I really wanted my family at the wedding, not knowing that, that was really God. But I kept telling him, no, I really want my family here. So we're going to wait. Once I get settled, then we'll get married, whatever case may be. Well, in the midst of that, I got a phone call saying that they wanted me to come take this position. And so I'm like, no, not doing that, because I'm getting ready to have a good deal with my man. And I'm about to live on an island. And that's just that. And so my mentor, she kept calling. She's like, Brittany, I really think you should just come down here. Whatever the case may be, look at this job. I'm like, okay, fine. So I go down. I come down here. It's not an interview. It's my job. So I said, you know how we got our plan for our life. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this job. I'm going to save some money for my wedding. And then I'm going to, get in about 6 months, help my alma mater. And then I'm going to go on with my life. That was a setup. So I got to Huntsville, relationship, everything fall apart. And it was about 5 or 6 months after that is when I gave my life to God. Now, this is not me like giving a picture. I love God. He's like, Jesus sets the framework for my life. So if you're a part of anything I do, you're going to hear me talk about God. But I don't want you to feel like, oh, the only reason I can hear from Brittany is if I'm saved, because you don't. I want this message to reach anybody, because you can apply these principles anywhere. Now, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about that later. But my life was falling apart, and I thought I had done everything I thought was supposed to do. I was the good person. I was the perfect student. I was the good daughter. I did everything on the checklist. They told me to do everything on the checklist, and I would get this result. I had done everything on the checklist, and I didn't get the result. So I was confused. Okay. So long story short, I find myself, I give my life to Christ, and my life changes. Right. And I thought that once I gave my life to Christ, everything, then I started a ministry, which I didn't know was a ministry then. I thought everything was all my issues. I didn't know I had issues. I thought all of that was going to go away, because now I know God, and now I'm helping other people, and now I'm helping and I'm sharing with them. So I'm not going to struggle with this stuff no more. In my naive 24-year-old mind, that's what I was thinking. So I started out real good. I started out, I'm telling the ladies about purity. I'm telling them about this. I'm teaching them, and they're like receiving it. And I'm like, okay, like me and my little 5 ladies, we just getting it, y'all. And so I started realizing that although I was gifted, and although I was able to flow in things, and God was able to use me, as I kept going, I started realizing that didn't have anything to do with my issues. They were still there. I was now saved. I was now leading other people. I was now helping others, but I still had the baggage there. I still had the things there. I still had the habits there. There were still things that I dealt with, and it was surface level. I did not even know that it was there, you all, right? So I go on. I'm leading, I let go of the one relationship. I start entertaining other relationships, although there was a season of my life where I needed to be by myself, but I didn't know what that looked like, because I had been in a serious relationship since I was 16 years old. So I had been in a relationship for half of my existence, right? Because that's all I knew, because that's all I saw growing up. And so over these years, years start going by. The ministry starts growing. I'm starting to learn that, hey, I got this call on my life to help other people. All of these great things are happening in my life. And on the outside looking in, you would think I had it all together. You would think like, oh my God, Brittany is doing amazing things. Not saying that I was not doing amazing things, but there was a few areas of my life that, although it didn't matter how much success I experienced, it didn't matter how many lives I impacted, there was still parts of my life that was raggedy, y'all. I mean raggedy. And I could not figure out, I love God, I'm good to people, why am I jacked up in these areas? So I could not figure out. So what did I do? I did the blame game. I was like, is this person's fault? Is this person, because I'm a good person. But can I tell you that loving God and being a good person is not enough? Because you can love God and be doing good things and be a good person and still have areas of your life where you're unhealed and broken and need deliverance and need to be things need to be walked out and all of that type of stuff. And that's what I was. I got to a place where I said, I am not satisfied with being a public success, but experiencing private defeat over and over and over again. Now, this is for the real people, because there are a lot of people out there, y'all, that they are successful on Instagram. They're successful in business. They're successful according to their bank account. But listen, I don't want to be 2, 3, 4, 15 different people. I don't want to be the person that tells everybody else about a thing that I don't experience in my life. I don't want to be known as, oh my gosh, she's amazing, but my interpersonal relationships are jacked up. I don't know about you all, but I made a decision 3 or 4 years ago that something got to change. So I just went to God. I was like, you're going to have to help me, because something's off here. And I literally had to take a look in the mirror. I literally had to say, Brittany, you're going to stop saying who hurt you, who did this to you, what didn't happen, all this stuff, and you got to own your stuff. Now, I'm already getting into the stuff, but I wanted to set this up for you all because I'm not sharing this with you all because I perfected and I'm the most secure person in the world. Matter of fact, after I put this flyer up, I was going to take it down. Can I be really honest with y'all? I put this flyer up. I was like, yes, I've taught on this before. I'm going to share with it again. That night, I got hit with some stuff. And I literally, y'all will probably see because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, was going to take this down. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to share with them, but I can't teach somebody something else that I'm walking through myself. This is where I was this week, 2 days ago. So I'm not sharing this with you all because I've mastered this. I'm not sharing this with you all because I haven't figured out. I'm sharing this with you all because there are some things in my journey that I've learned. There is the woman that's sitting before you today is not the woman I was 3 years ago. I would have never done this. I would have never, I'm telling you, I would have never. Why? Because of the insecurities in my life, because of the fears in my life, because of the things I've told myself my whole life of, Brittany, don't put yourself out there because somebody's going to reject you. Don't tell your story because somebody's going to judge you. Now realizing that all along, everything you've experienced, everything you've been through is actually what qualifies you to be able to help somebody else. So this is why I'm really passionate about this topic, you all, not because it's from a place of perfection, but it's from a place of experience. And I believe that if you're going to help anybody with anything, you got to know what that tastes like. You got to know what that feels like so that they know that I'm not just telling you something that I've read. I'm not just telling you something that you can Google. I'm telling you something that not only have I experienced, but I'm walking it out in my own life. And if I can tell you that, hey, if I can walk out feeling like I've been the most insecure person on the planet, you can walk it out too. The enemy knew when I was born what was on my life. So he didn't wait until I was 20 or 25 or 30. He didn't wait. He started for me when I was young. I've been insecure my whole life, y'all. I've not thought I was enough my whole life. I was like, my entire life I've dealt with feeling inadequate. My entire life I've dealt with, am I pretty enough? I'm not big enough. I'm like a size 0. My hair fell out. I had alopecia. All of these type of things like my entire life. And then you tell me to talk in front of people? You tell me to, no. Right? So if you felt that way ever, you need to know that you're not alone. You need to know that if you're wrestling with stuff right now where you like, I don't even want to tell nobody what the thoughts that be in my mind. I don't even want to tell you the stuff that every time I try to take a step forward, what comes from me, because I know what it's like. And I want you to know, if you don't get anything else from this tonight, if I can do it, afraid because I was nervous today, you can do it too. All right. So that's why I want you to know tonight. So let's talk about insecurities. Insecurities are, I wrote these down so I can give y'all. Now, I'm no therapist, and I am not. Listen, I'm just sharing this from my experience in hosting. It's gonna help you all. Okay. So this is from my experience, what I've gathered for security, insecurity, that type of stuff. All right. So I put down insecurities is an uncertainty or an anxiety about yourself or about an area of your life. Right. A lack of confidence, the state of being open, maybe being open to danger or feeling threatened or not feeling protected. Like, how many of you all have ever felt like you haven't been safe? whether like when you were growing up as a child, you didn't feel emotionally safe, which is what I'm walking through right now, you know, like whatever the case may be, right? So you can feel insecure about yourself, but you can also feel insecure about certain areas of your life. Like, have you ever noticed how in certain areas you may feel confident, but then when it gets to certain areas of your life, you're like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, no, I'll do this part, but I'm not gonna do that part. You know, like for me, you know, when I first started helping people, I never called it a Bible study. I never called it ministry. Although I would be in there, you know, because you come here with whoever and whatever you're called to do. You're going to do it whether you accept it or not. You're going to flow in it because gifts, they just how gifts work. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll help people, but I'm not going to like minister. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because for me, ministry equal perfection and ministry equal righteousness. And ministry meant I wasn't sleeping in nobody's bed that wasn't my husband. So, oh no, I can't do that. But I can, you know, help people and encourage people. So you can experience insecurities in certain areas of your life, or you can just experience insecurity as a whole, right? So usually with an insecurity, there's a lack or a limit, or there feels like a weakness that we have about ourselves or about an area of our life, right? I understand, girl. I ain't want no title either. I didn't want that either, right? Because what did I associate with titles? A lot of stuff. Let me pull up my other notes. I'll type the rest of my notes up. All right, so our securities are usually around a limit or a weakness that we have about ourselves or our lives, whether or not they're true or not, right? You can feel insecure about a lot of different things. For example, you could feel insecure about your money because you don't have enough. You could feel insecure, you know, if you grew up in poverty and you saw, you know, living check to check and you're like, oh my God, like I don't even know what it's like to be successful. All I know is poverty. All I know, so you can feel an insecurity there. You can feel insecure about, you know, your intellect, how you talk. You know, I'm country. I don't feel like I talk proper. You know, so at times I will go into certain environments and, you know, everybody's just nice and like prissy and I'm a little hood, you know, and I'm a little like, hey y'all, you know, that type of thing. And I'm like, oh Lord, they sure they wanted me to speak, you know, or I'll go into certain settings, you know, with certain, you know, things. And I'm like, oh, I will feel an insecurity there, right? So you can have those different types of insecurity. So it can be a limit or a lack that you feel about yourself. You can feel like you're not good enough in something, or you can think that you're not good enough in something, and you can feel insecure about that thing. You can feel like things are stacked up against you. Have you ever felt that way? So you're bound for failure, and you're afraid to even try because you're like, what's the point of trying? You know, that type of thing. So those are a little bit about what insecurities are. I'm going to tell you what insecurities are, how you can identify insecurities, why it's important to identify insecurities, and what are some ways that you can overcome your insecurities, okay? So that you become more confident and more secure. And I'm gonna tell you why that's so important and why it's necessary that now more than ever, you gotta do this, all right? Okay, so insecurities are largely about our belief systems. All right, y'all? Insecurities have a lot to do with your belief systems. What we believe to be true about ourselves and our lives. That's what a belief system is. A belief system is what you believe to be true about yourself or in your life. It's that story we tell ourselves or the story that has been told to us over and over again. So let me give you an example. The story you tell yourself is like, I could never do that. I admire that she do that, but I could never do that. Man, I'm only, you know, this, like, I ain't even finished college. Like, who am I that's our belief system. Or the story that's been told about us. You're going to always be like your daddy. You just like your mama. You ain't going to never be those word curses. Those can also become, see, that's why words are so important, you all. That's why you got to guard the stuff that people say to you and people say about you. There are times where people have said things, I'll be, girl, I got to renounce that thing. I'm like, oh no, that ain't, let me come out of agreement with that. Like, I stopped saying what I can't afford. I was like, oh no, that's a belief system. I can afford what I want to afford, right? Those type of things, because those words become beliefs and become the narrative for which we live our lives, right? So insecurities have a lot to do with your belief system, no matter where that's come from, whether it's things you've told yourself, whether it's been the environment that you've been shaped in, whether it's been the words that's been spoken over your life. That's where insecurity is usually brewed in, the pot that is usually brewed in, okay? So it's things like, you know, I'm not pretty enough to do this stuff. You know, I'm not as smart as other people, right? I can never make as much money as someone else can, right? It's the narrative that we hold on to and believe more than we should, allowing it to manifest in our life as fear, as a limit, as a weakness, as a lack. Does that make sense? All right. So this is really, really, really important. I won't even go like super spiritual with this tonight, because you can even look at, like, even at the beginning, you know, Adam and Eve, they didn't know insecurity. They was secure. Fam, they was walking around naked. Okay. So you already know, fam, they security was on fleek. They was elite. There was no void. There was no lack. There was nothing that would make them question themselves. But then sin entered the world, and what's the first thing Adam did? He hid, because he's like, oh my God, belief system automatically changed. I did something wrong, so I'm wrong. You know, I'm not good enough to be in God's presence no more. Where did that thought come from? Because before you were just fine, right? So it starts with your belief system. It starts with how you see yourself. It starts about what you say about yourself. All right? That's really, really important that you get this. All right, so how do you identify? I'm going to set this up and I'm going to tell you why this is important. How do you identify insecurities in your life? And why? Let me tell you why before I tell you how. This is the revelation I recently got. How you view yourself determines the quality of your life. Let that marinate. Why is this conversation so important? Why is it that we even start to do this work and you even on this live tonight? Because how you view yourself will determine your quality of life. It is not how gifted you are that determines your quality of life. Because you can be gifted and never reach your potential because of how you see yourself. Y'all don't want to talk to me tonight. I can't even see the chat because I got my notes pulled up. When I realized that it was how I was seeing myself that limit everything in my life, I said, oh no, something got to change. How you view your, not how other people view you. See, this is where we go to. What so-and-so said, it don't have nothing to do with what so-and-so said. Because you're responsible for your life. You're responsible for how you view yourself. It doesn't matter what you came from. It matters for what am I going to do with where I am right now. You have to eliminate the excuses. You have to stop giving your power to other people to determine your life. It's your life. And it's how you view yourself that is going to determine what you get out of your life. See, when I realized that me loving God wasn't enough, me praying 24 hours a day wasn't enough. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a part of it, because he lit and a prayer life is lit. And me doing good things wasn't enough. And it was something had to change in how I viewed myself to give me the confidence to step out and do the stuff I've always seen myself do. That is when everything changed. So that's why all of this is so important, because if not until you change how you see yourself, will your life change? Because when you change how you see yourself, then you're going to change what you do, which is going to change your outcome. See, this is not rocket science, y'all. When I got sober, come on, y'all, let's talk about sobriety. When I got out of my feelings and stopped wondering who left my life and why this, and said, okay, Brittany, you got to own your stuff. You're going to own your story. You're going to own your mistakes, because now you know that your mistakes is not who you are. You're going to own it, and then you're going to make a decision. If you want something different, you got to do something different. And you got to start seeing yourself different. Now, does that happen overnight? No! Like, no, it does not happen overnight. It is a process, y'all. It's a process. I'm still scared. I'm doing this scared. Every time I do a post, I'm scared. Every time I do something on my Insta story, I'm scared. Why? Because that's just my story. I've been afraid to put myself in front of people, but I'm doing it because I'm in a process. You see what I'm saying? So how you view yourself is going to determine your quality of life. How you view yourself is going to determine if you accomplish your purpose. How you view yourself is going to determine if you do everything on this earth that you have been called and created to do. So let's deal with how we got to see ourselves, you all. Okay? I hope this is helping you. I'm going to go check these comments in a few. I'm going to try to get this done, and then we can chat some more, okay? All right, so where was I? Okay, so, all right, so a few ways. Now, this is not an extensive list. I just did a few examples of how you can identify, like, oh, I didn't know there was insecurity, because I was crazy. Let me tell y'all something. Baby, y'all, I was crazy. I think I worked for the bootleg FBI. The stuff I used to do, My God, thank God for grace. Because y'all, I was bona fide, not even knowing it was insecurity. Like, that's a whole nother live. Just check. I'll tell y'all more of that later. But that's why it's important, because if you're not at a place where you're able to discern these things, you'll be thinking it's everybody else. But let me tell you something. People gonna be people. So you can't use the excuse of, well, so-and-so did this, so that ain't why. No. That's not the victory mentality. The victory mentality is, let me check myself. What's going on up in me so I know how to readjust so I can get what I want out of life. Y'all see what I'm saying? Okay, so let's understand how to identify these insecurities. Let me give you a few little checklists. Quick little checklist, because some of y'all saying, I don't even know who I'm on here. I'm real confident. And some of y'all may say, Brittany, help me. All right, so if you get defensive a lot, then it could be, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Get defensive, somebody say something, and then something just comes up in you, and you like, it ain't, if that's your first, that neck, and then like you grab the air and come back, like it's defensive, and you got something like to prove, that there may be an under-rooted fear there, insecurity there, maybe, just maybe. If you have to puff stuff up and brag, like if a person like just, and I don't want to say like a person like we trying to listen to this, to like point out, this about us. So let's not even point the finger at somebody else. But if you gotta like, and be honest with yourself, if you gotta like exaggerate, like I exaggerate a lot, ma'am, you lying. Like, Brittany, you lying. Why do you feel like you gotta exaggerate the story all the time? Because fam, you's lying. Like that's the conversation I gotta have with me. What's going on there? Why you don't think it's enough for you just to tell the story? How you told the story? What you looking for? What do you need? What's the fear there? That they won't accept you if you just show up who you are without adding the fuck? Y'all see what I'm saying? Insecurity. Shrinking back. Oh, shrinking back. Y'all do know that you can like come to too eager to come to the front, but you can be also too eager to go to the back. Like there have been times, guys, where I would go places. I would be so insecure, I would turn around and go home. I wouldn't even get out the car. I would feel like I'm by myself. That's in the seasons where I couldn't go nowhere by myself. A fear of, okay, I'm going to look crazy. There's been times I put posts up. And I was like, man, my hair was looking crazy. I'm going to delete it. And it was a message from God. It was something somebody needs to hear. But I'm so afraid of not looking perfect or it not being perfect. I delete it, shrinking back. Or when somebody's like, and you know what you're good at. And they're like, hey, can you do this? Or hey, did you do that? Well, maybe. Like, no, yes, this is what I do. This is what I'm good at. And if you ask me about that, no, but this, yes, that's my life. Shrinking back, that's a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of fear. Lack of trust. Not trusting yourself. Questioning yourself. Not being able to trust nobody else. Dealt with that too. Making, what did I mean by that? Let me go back to that. Let me get my reflection back on that. Avoidance. When you want to avoid certain things, like you're like, I'm just not going, no, I ain't going to deal with that. There's a fear there. And it's something that you're supposed to do, or it's a conversation that needs to be had. That's an insecurity there. Because when you're secure, you're like, I'll have the hard conversation. When you know that your worth is not based on whether a person receives you or not, you don't mind doing a hard thing. That's an insecurity. Procrastination. That can also be another like sign of like, there's a fear there. If I keep putting off the stuff that I know I need to do, what am I afraid of? Am I actually afraid of it working? Because a lot of us say we're afraid of fear, but a lot of us are afraid of it actually working. Because you have been so conditioned by defeat. You've been so conditioned by things not, You've been so conditioned by things not working and things not going the right way that you have even a fear of success. Wonder if it does work. Wonder if people show up. Wonder if they do believe in you, because they do. Oh, shucks now. Just doing a checklist. Overachieving. Overachieving. Could be. See, that's why your motive, that's why you got to, and we're going to talk about how you overcome. That's why you got to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Because sometimes when people are overachieving, it's because they're trying to cover up and overcompensate for something in their life. So let me do the most here, because I don't want nobody else to see that I really haven't confronted this part of my life over here. Busyness. Let me cover up. Let me just keep going. Let me keep going, because if I sit still during quarantine and get quiet, I got to deal with the thoughts and deal with the feelings and deal with the unprocessed stuff. So let me run from that. right? Instead of run to that. So again, that list can go on and on and on. But as I was thinking about this and preparing for this, these are so many examples I wanted to give y'all based off what I felt like was going to be on this live here tonight. All right. So ways you can identify. I'm sharing this so that you can see yourself, but I'm also sharing this so that when certain things happen in your life, you can start checking your responses. Like, ask yourself when something bothers you, why did that bother me? Ask yourself when you don't want to do something, why I don't want to do that? What's happening here? What's this fear? What am I really afraid of? And I'm telling you, when you start getting into the root of that thing, I will talk more about that, then that's where you find liberty. And you start doing stuff that used to terrify you, i.e. me doing this webinar. Right. So we talked about this. Why is it important that we have this conversation? I've already shared this with y'all because it affects everything. How you see yourself determines the quality of your life. I told y'all about how I got the revelation one day that I was too gifted to be broke, but I was insecure. So that means I didn't believe in what God had put on the inside of me to actually feel like I was worthy enough to present it to the world and say, hey, this is who I am and this is what I offer. You see what I'm saying? So we talked about that. Now, how do you overcome? Almost done, y'all. Almost done. I'm so excited. I hope this is helping y'all. How you overcome? I've already been sharing with y'all how you can overcome some of this. Again, first thing you need to know is that this is a process. Your journey to becoming more secure is a process. Your journey of becoming confident, more confident, because you do have confidence, is a journey. It's a process. So I don't want you to think you're going to get off of here tonight and then it's going to be like, boom, and you're going to be like, no, it's probably not going to. And if it does, email me and then let me know what you do, because I've been on this journey for a long, long time and I'm making progress. But let me tell y'all something. If it was easy, we wouldn't appreciate it. See, if I would have woke up that day, I won't tell y'all everything, but if I would have woke up that day, when I was in the adulterous relationship because I didn't know my worth and I wasn't secure who I was to know that God could send me a man that I didn't have to share with somebody else. If I would have woke up one day while I was there, or, when that wife called me when I was 21 years old, asking me if I was with her husband and I lied, that type of stuff, guilt and shame I've had to walk through in my life, y'all. If I would have known that stuff then and it would have just clicked, then that means I wouldn't have 10 years in the game of me having to walk this thing out and me having to fall and then get back up and then fall and then get back up and then fall and me get back up and then go to this door and figure out that's not the right door and go here and go there. Listen, if it comes too easy, sometimes we don't appreciate it. And some of you are so frustrated because you don't want to give yourself grace. You like, why am I still struggling with this? Why am I still dealing with this? Because you got to be familiar with that affirmity. You got to know what it's like to suffer, because there are going to be people you're called to in your business that you're going to coach, that you're going to speak to, that are going to be exactly where you were for 10 years, exactly where you were for 20 years of your life. So that's why you got to realize that it is a process. And you have a story, and it gets better and better with every chapter, but it don't mean just because you ain't there yet that you ain't on your way. I need somebody to encourage their self tonight to say, I'm proud of you. Because if the devil would have had it his way, you would have still been there, but you're not. And although you may not be where you want to be, you are on your way to where God is taking you because you keep getting back up. That's the name of the game. You keep getting back up. I don't care what you've done. I share the things I've done and I give you details so that you know that it's real, so that you can put your story there and say, you know what? The fact that I survived it, I got a whole enterprise based off what I survived. Y'all don't want to talk to me. You got a whole enterprise based off of what you survived. And the only thing that's missing is you getting the confidence. Is you believing that there's somebody out there that needs to hear your story, that somebody values what you have to offer. But if you keep hiding it and sitting on the couch with it and saying and watching everybody else do it, then you're going to leave this earth and not do what you were supposed to do. And all of what you survive will be in vain. When I began to understand that, that's when things started to shift for me in my life. So how do we overcome? First, we got to be real. Yeah, you just got to be real with yourself, because you can't be real with nobody else until you're real with yourself, child. You just got to be, and that's a process. We talked about this last night. When you've been conditioned to lie your whole life, you see what I'm saying? The whole world conditions us to lie. And folks can't handle truth for real. So that's why you just got to work on this truth within here. Because you're going to go some places where they just stay and then you don't even take it personal. You be like, they ain't got to their place yet. Help them, Lord. And you just keep on with your process. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want what somebody else going on to make you stop download. You know, have you ever been loading something and then it's interrupted, right? Because of something external. See, many of us, we've allowed external stuff to interrupt what's happening internally for us for too long. Y'all don't want to talk to me tonight. You've allowed what somebody else got going on to interrupt the process that you're in. But I believe that there's some people on this live tonight that's saying, Brittany, I'm no longer going to let what's going on externally to disrupt what's going on internally. I'm not going to allow because what somebody else don't want to keep me from going to get it. Hello, somebody. Because what I'm learning is when you begin to make up your mind that you're going to go get it for real, you're going to become for real, that's going to upset some people in your life because you staying at that level has spoken to their complacency. But then when you decide, I got to switch this thing up, it's going to really show you who's going with you for your future. So you got to be real. And you got to be okay that as you're becoming real with where you are, if you got some people around you that they ain't in that place yet. And you can't take that personal because that's not your responsibility. Whose responsibility? What's your responsibility? Here, this your responsibility. How they process it is their responsibility. This is your responsibility. All of this here, not that, all of this here. Y'all see what I'm saying? All right. So understand that as you're starting to be more real with yourself and more honest with yourself, you will be punished for it. Oh, you're going to be punished for it. Because then you're going to start giving people your truth like, that ain't working for me. And do it in love. I ain't saying being nasty. I ain't saying, no. You're going to be kind. Amen. Because what we sow is what we reap. So we're going to be kind with our truth. But yeah, you let people know, actually, that doesn't work for me anymore. I know you used to just treat me like whatever the case may be from here on out. I don't like that. Like, those are the type of conversations I'm having, y'all, because for so long, I've accommodated stuff. I just wanted to make sure everybody else was good and all that. No, I'm being honest with myself that I don't like that. And I don't got to put up with it. So God bless you. That type of thing. That's what a life of realness looks like. And there's freedom there, y'all. There's freedom there. Okay, then we got to identify. So looking in the mirror. So for me, I had failed relationship after failed relationship. I blame every man. I mean, every man. It was his fault. It was their fault. He this, he that. I'm the only common denominator. Man number one, Brittany. Man number two, Brittany. Man number three, Brittany. Now, I ain't go to 5 or 6 or 7 now, but that's okay. That's your story, right? But that was funny. But I was the common denominator. So what did I have to do? I had to look in the mirror. I had to take ownership for the part I've played in everything I've been a part of. And let me tell you something. That's not easy. I went through a year of crying every day. I was in counseling, which we're going to talk about that. And I just wanted to just end it. Like, I don't think I've ever been suicidal. I don't know if it's suicidal, but I would just tell the Lord, you can just come on and get me. Like, I'm for real, y'all. I don't know if that whatever, but there were, in my journal, it would be times where it's like, if I'm this jacked up, then you can just like, what you doing tomorrow? Like it would be that type of thing because I had to start confronting ugly stuff in me and things that I've done, people I've used. Now I was telling people they were using me, but I was using them because I needed to be needed. So I would let them be needing me to feed the insecurity in me. Like what in the world? I mean, jacked up. So when you start looking in the mirror, it's going to be ugly. Okay. But it's okay because your identity is not determined by what you see in the mirror. Okay, so when you understand that your identity and your worth has nothing to do with the dysfunction and the habits and the stuff you've inherited from the crazy people in your family, you got to separate that. I am who I am by the grace of God. I'm just working through some stuff, but that don't change who I am. You see what I'm saying? So looking in the mirror, it's some hard stuff it's some stuff that's going to be ugly and you probably already walking through and you're going to want to give up, but don't, because we've already established that there's more and you're worth it. So that's your motivation. You see why I had to set that up for y'all? Because on the hard days where you want to give up and say, I can't help nobody because I'm still jacked up, you're reminded, but there's more and you're worth it. Got it? All right. So you're going to be real. You got to look in the mirror. Then you got to identify those limiting belief systems. Now, this is where I got help. This is where I started going to counseling, okay? I had gone to counseling before because my little heart was broken. Once, we got back together, I just dropped counseling. I was like, all right, my man back. See you later. And it didn't work. The second time, the heart was broken. I was like, okay, I don't care what happened. Okay, I'm keep going this time. And so I've been going because my therapy is it's a part of my self-care. So it don't matter if I'm in a good season or a bad season, I'm going to be on her couch, okay? Because I have finally decided that there's more and I'm worth it. And I'm going to put in the work because Brittany is worth fighting for. Brittany is worth being healthy for. Brittany is worth Brittany liking. Like, Brittany is worth Brittany loving. And so this is a sign of my love for myself, is that I talk to somebody about how I feel, because how you feel matters. What you've been through matters. Your fears matter. And so it's your responsibility to put things in place that feed you, that support you, that you can love on you so that you can become your best self. So you got to identify those belief systems. Sometimes it takes another perspective. You've been looking at your life through the lens of your life for I don't know how long you've been born. So that's why sometimes it takes another perspective to help you come to some of my most powerful revelations and breakthroughs have come with me being in counseling and me talking to her. I'll be sitting there like, oh, I remember when I first realized I wasn't living in humility, but I was actually living in pseudo humility, which is pride. So I said, so you telling me all of this time I've been thinking I was humble and I was really being prideful because I didn't want to own my work and let people know what I do? And she's like, yeah, that's pretty much. And she didn't say a word. So professional help, I highly recommend. And it's just not to tell you that's not what it's about. It's about you getting revelation of where you are, what in your story has shaped and molded your thoughts, how it can be replaced so that your mind can be renewed, so that you can think different, so that you can live different. Does that make sense? All right, so identifying those belief systems, not only with your counselor, but with yourself. Checking in with yourself. Journaling. Like if y'all follow me on Instagram today, I did a quick boomerang so y'all couldn't read it. I did a quick boomerang because I just finished a journal. I get the big journals, like this big. And I write in it every day. And I question myself. Ew, it feels so safe. Now, I had to grow there because my journals used to be, Lord, I love you. And you're just so awesome. And Lord, I just thank you. And all this type of stuff. Child. And I'm going back in 2013, 14, like, so you weren't going to tell him you was at the strip club. You weren't going to tell him that last night you almost had a threesome. Like, you ain't going to, so we ain't say nothing about that in the journal. But now we've grown to the place where I can be honest. Thank God I don't still deal with that stuff, y'all. But I'm just, okay if you ain't there. No judgment. It's just, I done had to work through a lot of stuff in my life. And so journaling those things, questioning yourself, asking those questions, starting to be honest with yourself, identifying where's this belief coming from, starting to see how some of these beliefs, girl, they come from your family. Sure, child. Just like, oh, this is how my mama thought, or this is how my cousin act, or this is how, yeah. So that's why you got to identify it. Then we go into starting to replace those belief systems. Those happen a lot of different ways. Some of that happens through, if you're a believer, starting to read your word. That helps to change your belief systems. Getting in community, which I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight, something I want to offer you all as far as community. Getting in that, the things you read, the things you take in, writing affirmations, all of those type of things help you with replacing your old belief systems with new belief systems, right? That are according to the truth. There's a scripture that says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So that's why your mindset is so important. The things you're telling yourself, the stuff you're feeding yourself, that's why it's so important. And this is the last thing, you all, and I'm done. Taking baby steps. If you are, again, going back to the process, and I'm done, I promise y'all. If you're going to become more secure and you're going to become more confident, it is something you're going to have to work through. Now, I know that's not, let me make sure y'all still here. Okay, y'all still there? Okay. This is, we don't like to work. This is the whole thing, y'all. We don't like stuff that don't come easy. We got to be honest about that. We don't like that, right? We just want it to, I'm going to wake up. I wake up like this. I woke up like this. Like that, we want that to be our testimony, right? I wake up, hair done, lashes, like I don't even like doing makeup. I just want to wake up. I'm secure. I don't have no more insecurities, child. I think I'm fine. Whether I got makeup, like I just want to roll over and hey, The secret to becoming more secure and more confident is you working through your insecurities. All that, you got an hour for this. You got to work through where you are. And you got to start where you are. and you got to work through it. What does that look like? That means intentionally putting yourself in some stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable. I was getting this revelation this week. So I ain't going to give it all to y'all because I ain't finished it yet. Once I get the full one, I'll share it with y'all. But pressure can come from two ways. Pressure can come from like external force pressure. You got a deadline, you work, so there's external pressure. You got to mature to the place where you will initiate pressure in your own life. You can't look for someone always to put pressure on you for you to become. That's why the worth conversation is so important. You got to get to a place where you love yourself enough, where you say, I'm worth me initiating this process this time to put myself in something uncomfortable so that I can work out in me what needs to be worked out so that I can continue to become who I want to become. And that's not easy. It's not. Because that means you're going to have to sign up for something that's going to challenge you. But aren't you tired of being in the same place? And it's okay if you're not. Just keep living and then you'll get sick and tired later. But really, I think it's like half of y'all. I cannot speak real, from my heart. I believe that majority of you are on here tonight because you've been you are where I've been. And I just got to a place where I'm over you, Brittany. I stopped telling my friends what I was going to do. I got to the place where you can ask my best friend, Chad, you can ask, I got so sick and tired of telling people what I was going to do and not doing it. I was just I'm not even saying anymore. That's why I've just been doing stuff. I've been doing things. I've been doing things in 3 weeks. I was supposed to do 3 years ago. Y'all, I'm sick of it. I got to a place where I was sick of me. I was sick of giving the excuses. I was sick of waiting for somebody else to pick me and choose me for that to be my validation. You don't need nobody else to validate you and tell you what you already know you are. You don't need that. You just gotta wake up one day and say, I almost cuss. I'm gonna do this. Lord, don't put that on social media, y'all. Ain't nobody gonna follow me no more. But I'm gonna do this. Whether people get with it, whether I got 10 likes. Well, listen, y'all, if this webinar wouldn't have happened tonight, now I knew it was going to happen because God had to get this to y'all. But if we would have not done this, I would have went home and still been satisfied. Why? Because God, I did it. Child, I actually got out here and was going to share with these people. Done. It's personal for me. At this point in my life, I'm about to be 34 years old, and I've been second guessing myself my whole life. It's personal for me at this point. I got something I got to prove to myself, and you do too. So I don't know where you are in your journey. I don't know what that next step needs to look like for you, but all of you know what your next step needs to be. Every last one of you. Don't be talking about, I don't know, Brittany. I don't know. It's the thing you don't want to do. It's the thing you don't want to do. It's always what you know you should do is the thing you don't want to do. Y'all hear what I'm telling you? But if you don't get anything else from this tonight, I want you to know, you ain't by yourself, child. I'm trying to tell you, but you got to put in the work. You got to work through it because it's not just going to happen. You got the same way you work on your job, the same way you work in your marriage, the same way you work with your kids. Put yourself on the list now. And say, I'm going to put in the work to continue to evolve. And I'm going to give myself grace. That's the other part of it. Not only I'm going to put in the work, but I'm going to give myself grace to learn. I ain't never done this before. Ain't nobody in my family ever done this before. I don't know what this looks like. So I'm going to give myself grace. So that means sometimes it's going to work and sometimes it's not going to work. And I'm going to laugh, get the lesson, and keep moving. We got to treat ourselves better, y'all. We got to love ourselves more. We got to do a better job at taking care of I. And from that place of overflow, you won't be so frustrated in trying to give to the world. Y'all got this. I can go on and on and on. I'm going to stop because it's 8:30 and I said I wasn't going to go an hour. But I think that's what I shared with you all. I'm going to open up Q&A, but I want to share a few things with you all and then we can go from there. I really, now that I am owning, this whole hour of you that I just shared with you is what I'm walking out right now. Okay. So I really just shared my life. So, and where I am and what I'm learning as I'm going this season. So what I'm deciding is like, I really want to help people. Like I've been helping people, but I want to help people on another level. And so I am very intentional about creating platforms, creating resources, and creating a space. That's all. Like with tonight, whether we do these regularly or whatever the case may be, so that I can help people. And that I can, listen, I don't want to just be out here like, I got this, and then you go and like my picture, but then I can't tell you like, hey, if you've been struggling with the things I've been struggling with too, and you want to start walking in your purpose, although it looks different, everybody's purpose look different, like I want to, like, come on, let me show you what I did. And it may not look the exact same, but you can apply some of these things in your life so that you can get there too. Because once you get there, then there's some people behind you that need to follow you, and then there's some people behind them that need to follow them, and then it just keeps going like that. Y'all see what I'm saying? So a few things I want to do tonight, I want to encourage you all. First, I want to stay connected with you all. I want to do life with y'all, okay? That'll look different for all of us, but I want to stay connected with you. A few ways that we're going to stay connected. That's why I was trying to use the other platform, because I had all this pretty stuff I was going to show y'all, but that's fine. I'll email it to you. And if you don't want to know more, you could just be like, Brittany, I'm good. But I will send this to you all. So a few things that we could do for us to stay connected. One, for you all to be on my email list, because I'm going to start emailing you all every time I do something like this, or the different topics I'm going to talk about, or stuff I just think that's on my heart to share with you all. I want you to know about it. So if you signed up for this webinar, you already got your email. If you received my update, I've already got your email. So that's the first way. If you're not already following me on my platforms, I encourage you to follow me. I went live like last week, and I'm going to repost that live, but I could not figure out why God wanted me to go on social media, y'all. I did not want to go on social media. And he told me why. He finally told me why after I was obedient, because that's how he works sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't explain to you. Sometimes he don't never explain it to you. That's his prerogative. He died. But he shared with me after my obedience of why. And he said, I'm going to show people the process. And I'm like, oh, like the whole world? Like who? Show who the process? Anyway, we're still working it out, but we're going to do it. So follow me on social media. If you don't already follow me, I have, let me put all my stuff down here for y'all. I'm on Facebook, so you can, let me put Facebook down here. I'm on Facebook. Let me put this here. Y'all bear with me. Okay, this is my Facebook page, so you can go there, stay connected there. I'm on Instagram, and I'll send this with y'all too. I'm on Twitter. Now, Twitter, I probably need to get a little bit more dignified on Twitter, but I'm on there as well. All right, so those are the ways we can stay connected. Okay, all right, so I want us to stay connected, right? I want us to do this thing together. I want to know your wins. Now, y'all, I can't, now let me be honest. Now, I can't, like, you know, I can't counsel you and all that good stuff, right? But we can find a counselor. But I want to support you in your journey, all right? So I want to know about your wins. I want you to send me a quick DM. Like, if tonight helped you, and then, like, say next month, you're like, Brittany, I applied some of the stuff that, you know, you talked about tonight. DM me. Like, let me know. I'm finna have a whole party for you, sis, bro. Like, that is amazing. Yes, my YouTube channel. I just launched my YouTube channel. So that's another way we can stay connected. And I've dropped like 2 videos so far, 3 videos, something like that. But I'm going to keep giving y'all content. Like, if you like my story, stuff that I'm learning, my transparency, my falls, my wins, my lessons, like, I'm just going to just share that stuff. And I don't know who all is for, but I'm just going to share it. So those are all my platforms. Oh, yeah, that's wrong. I'm so sorry. It's not a B in the middle of it. It's this. It's just Brittany Wharton. All right. So make sure you go subscribe to my page. All right. All right. Last thing, the last way is I'm so excited about this, y'all. I am releasing and starting a mentorship group. I am so excited. That's what I want to tell y'all about tonight. So I want us to stay connected through social media, email, YouTube. But for those of you who like, Brittany, I need a mentor. Like, I just need accountability and I need a community. I am launching a mentorship group, y'all, and I'm super excited about it. I did a 21 day and I'm getting ready. Thank y'all. Thank you. So listen, y'all, I did this 21-day productivity challenge, right? And that was a whole thing by itself. Super scared. Didn't know if anybody's going to sign up. Shout out to everybody who signed up in case any of my PC girls are on here. And the community, it was just so beautiful, y'all. It was, and I said, you know what? I want to create a space because we need this. I was like, after this, I'm going to create a space. And I'm going to invite women, men, whoever, to be a part of it. And we're going to do this together. I believe it's like you're gifted and you got potential and purpose. But for most of us, there's something missing in the middle. It's like, I know I got what it takes. I know that I'm gifted and I know I got purpose and I know, but I'm getting stuck in the middle. I believe the right community and the right accountability can connect you from like who you think you are and know you are to what you're supposed to be doing. I believe that's the thing that can connect it, right? And I've seen it because I've done it for 10 years. And I'm like, oh, got it. So I want to invite you all to be a part of that. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I had like these slides and stuff for y'all, offer, you know, all that stuff for y'all. But I want to tell y'all more about it before I give you the link in case you want to like sign up for it. But it's called Safe Space. Let me see if I can show y'all the thing real quick. I can at least share my screen. I can do that. Y'all bear with me since we did the alternative tonight. Let's see. Okay, so let me share my screen with y'all real quick. And then, all right, so this is what it's called. It's called Safe Space, where women can thrive. And it's an online community hosted by myself, if you want to be a part of it. And I'm going to give y'all this link here, but it's called Safe Space. And it's my new mentorship group that I am starting. And so I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about, because I want to set your expectations up correctly, all right? I want you to know what you're going to be a part of in case you're interested in. After I share this with you, I'm going to do a quick Q&A, and then we're going to get off here tonight. And y'all stay posted. I'm going to do this again in case y'all want me to. I'll do it again. But, okay, so Safe Space is for those of you who are looking for ongoing accountability and community, all right? So when you sign up, it's going to be like this monthly thing that you do, and you're going to be, the cool thing about this, you're going to be in this community with like-minded people that are, as we talked about tonight, that's doing the work. I'm noticing the type of people that are attracted to me, people who know that they have purpose, people who are visionaries, people who are tremendously gifted, but they're frustrated, right? Where I've been. And so that's what it's for. So it's to create a community for you. I'll be dropping a teaching like what we did tonight. You'll get one of those every month, and it'll be different topics. I have a formula. I didn't get to show all this to you, but I have a formula that I've put together as far as like how to become the best version of yourself, and just taking my own life experience, you knowing who you are, you knowing your worth, you knowing your gifts, you knowing your potential, and then you being activated to walk in your purpose. So we're going to take that model, and every month I'll be teaching, I'll be dropping a teaching so that you can get that. And then I'll be doing a live Q&A every month for the community. And so if you have any questions, you'll be able to send your questions in beforehand. We'll get on something like this, and then I'll answer your questions and just help you to navigate through the different stuff in your life so that you can experience success, right? You'll also get, I'm trying to remember my list, y'all, I'm sorry. So those are the main things that you get. Now, I want to let y'all know, so super excited about it. Then you'll get access. Like, I have a lot of other things coming up, and so this group will be the group that gets access and dibs on everything that I do. So before I share, you know, any of the anything else that I do, I'm going to share it with you first. You'll get offers and different things like that off the things that I do, in case you're saying, hey, I want, you know, one-on-one, or I want, you know, certain things and certain topics that I'm going to be teaching and releasing and all that type of stuff. This group will get the access to all of those things first. And so this is like the thing, y'all. I'm super excited about it. So I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to drop the link in case you want to join and be a part of it so that you can do that. And then, y'all, we're going to get started. So next week, we'll be doing an orientation. For those of you who sign up, we'll be doing an orientation next week so that you can be clear on what to expect, what the process is getting ready to look like, because we're about to do some work, okay? We're about to do work. And then how to prepare yourself for the journey that we're getting ready to take together. Now, this is important because, y'all, I was thinking, like, I spend a lot of money on my personal development. And sometimes when I'm in counseling or, you know, with my coaches and stuff, I'm like, man, what about the person who can't afford a couple of $100 like a month, right? Like, what about like that person? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited because this is something that can help you in your personal development, and it's not going to be like an arm and a leg, right? It's not going to be something that you got to go broke for, but it's something that a dedicated space in your life that can speak and feed to the person that you're becoming. So I'm super excited about everything this is going to become. Y'all are going to actually, yes, y'all are going to actually get, because I couldn't even update the price. So I was like, I just thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, with the new link, y'all. So I did an inside price for the people for my productivity challenge. And it was supposed to go up tonight for you all, but it ain't went up yet. So I'll honor it for the rest of the night at the price. And so for now, you can join for $25 a month. And that's it. You get those things for $25 a month. Now it's going up to $30. It's supposed to be $30 tonight. I'll take it up to $30 tomorrow. And then on May the 8th, it's going to go up again to $35. So if you want to go ahead and join and be a part of it, this is like the introductory group. When I'm old, I'm like, that was the group we went through life together. You know, so that type of thing. But yes, that's the link. Brittany just posted it. I'll post it again. If you want to go ahead and sign up tonight. And this is the thing. That's why I told y'all, no matter what area we stay connected in, I want to stay connected to you. So that's why I want to give you all the ways for us to stay connected. For those of you who said, hey, you know, this is like, I think I need this. I really want you to be a part of my journey, Brittany, and really be a part of helping me become, and me being so more transparent, and me being more vulnerable and walking in my purpose and all that. This is the next step in case you want to partner with me so that I can help you do that in your life. All right. So I am so excited, y'all. I hope that you have enjoyed this webinar. I'm going to go home and drink me a Sprite. That's what I do when I've done something that I'm super excited about. I'm so excited, y'all. I thank y'all so much for believing in me. I cannot believe it was 80-some people on this here webinar. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jesus. God, he good, y'all. He's so good. All right, so I hope you enjoyed tonight's conversation. I hope you got something that really uplifted you, that encouraged you. I'm going to use my platform to continue to inspire you all, to continue to let you in on the journey, my wins and my lows, but just be patient with me as I'm sharing y'all my lows. But I want to come alongside your journey, and I want to help you to prosper and be and own your stuff and be successful and wealthy and all the other stuff that God has for you. I really want to commit my life to doing that at this level. And so this is the first step of that. And I thank y'all so much for trusting me. I thank you so, so much for trusting me and let me speak into your life. And let me tell you something. If you've ever worked with me, if you've ever served with me, you know I don't play about people. I don't play about people. I don't play about people misusing platforms, and I don't play about misusing influence, right? That is tremendously important to me. So I don't take for granted you all's time tonight and that you came to hang out with me and your patience, because the devil tried to stop our webinar. Look out. All right, so for those of you, again, let's stay connected. I'll shoot you an email with all of my contact so that we can stay connected and do this thing together. And for those of you who saying, Brittany, I want to take it to the next level, and I want us to be a thing. Like if you want me and you to be a thing, then Safe Space is the place that you want to sign up and you want to join and you want to be a part of, because that is going to be the first place I go with everything that I'm doing and I'm sharing and I am releasing. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, we got a few questions before. Awesome. Y'all signing up. Yay! Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Let me see if I got any questions. Will this be posted for? Yes. With all the technical difficulties, I will send out the link for the replay. What do you know? What if you don't know what you need to do? I just don't know where to start. That's a great question, Martha. I would say take this talk tonight and get still. And let me go back. If there was anything as I was talking that kept coming up for you, and you're like, I don't even know what that is, that's the place you can start. Or take some time tonight, take some time this weekend to try to get quiet and see, man, what's one area that I can start working on? It could be your attitude. It could be your lack of patience. It could be all of us have a fear. And you can identify a place where there's a fear in your life, because fear is trying to keep you from getting something else. There's always something greater on the other side of your fear, right? And so if you can just kind of identify fear or identify something, an area of your life that you keep struggling in, that's a place where you can start. And you can say, okay, let me acknowledge this, because that's the first part. The first part is acknowledging like, hey, I want to do some work in this area of my life. That's the first part, and being honest with it and sitting in that for a second, because sometimes we don't want to sit in it. We're like, all right, that's a problem. All right, let me go to the store. Let me go to Walmart. Don't got nothing to get from Walmart, right? So I think that's the first thing, of acknowledging it, being still long enough to acknowledge it, and then saying, okay, where do I go from here? Do I need to go to counseling? Do I need to get some books? Do I need to join Safe Space? like, what is a resource? Because God is too faithful not to surround you with what you need. And sometimes we don't know where to look. or we're overlooking what he's put in our life to help us. Will you be doing another coaching session? I wouldn't consider this coaching. But yes, I will. So what I would say, if you enjoy the content, and I would definitely recommend you to join Safe Space, because that's where I'm going to be consistent, like stuff like this. I'm going to be consistently sharing something like this every month. And then from there, I'm going to be releasing more things. And so you'll have more opportunity. There's a lot of other things I'm working on. And so I'll be releasing all of that from there. So, but for webinars, yes, I plan to, as I'm inspired to do, and it's something I feel like is really needed, because I don't want to just do stuff to do stuff. I really, really, really want to help people with a message I feel like I can share from, I don't want to just be randomly doing stuff, because I want people's life to be changed. Okay. So yes, I will do, I don't know when the next webinar is that I'm going to do, but I will work to be more consistent with doing like just general webinars as well. Something traumatic happened to me in my previous job 2 years ago. I've been beating myself up about the situation and the people involved. How do I stop beating myself up due to other people's actions and accusations? So first of all, you've acknowledged that you've experienced trauma. So that's like a big deal. Again, I'm no therapist, y'all. I'm only like sharing from my experience and the wisdom I've gotten through my experiences. Okay. So I would say, first acknowledging that it's trauma. I think one thing that I had to do in counseling was I had to separate, as I shared tonight, what I've done and what's been done to me is not who I am. And I think that was it took me about a year of like crying and wrestling to really get the revelation of like, Brittany, what you've done and what's been done to you is not who you are. You have to separate the circumstance and what's happened from who you are. And I think then once that starts to happen and you begin to understand that, is where you can start to experience healing from that. And so understand like you're not what you've done, and you're not what people have done to you. That's not who you are. So then the question is, who am I? Good question. I think that's the first place we're going to start in Safe Space, is identity. Who am I? I have having to answer that question in this season, because I got to figure out who I am in this season. I thought I knew who I was, but I had attached my identity for so long to what I'd done. I didn't even know who I was outside of saving the city. I didn't know who I was outside of being a side chick. I didn't know who, because that's what I committed all my life to. And so now I'm rediscovering. So I said, so making that separation and then taking the journey of discovering who you are, and and that journey, that's a whole self-discovery thing. And so I would definitely recommend, if you don't go to counseling, to get you a good Christian therapist if you are a believer, and you can get you some books. Victory Over Darkness is one of my favorite books over with identity. Victory Over Darkness. I can't think of the author right now, but that's one of my favorite books on identity. I'm the person to talk to you about who has idea, putting a vision. I signed up. Say, is there something you will talked about who has idea, but I need help in my vision? The topics will be, there will be different topics each month for Safe Space. It won't be like one-on-one type of, things that we're doing in Safe Space. It's more of community-based, accountability-based. But that will be one of the topics, one of the months. It's like, how do I carry out a vision? I think that's one of my stronger gifts. And so I'm definitely going to be sharing that level of expertise I've been able to gain over the years of how do I take an idea from an idea to a vision. So yes, that will be a part of content that we do share, if that helps you out. And then I'll have some other stuff coming down the line if you want to take advantage of some of those other things too. Fashion, I love you so much. Okay, can we just side note, I'll text you. Thank you so much. I love you. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Yes, therapy for Black girls. Y'all, there are some amazing, listen, I'm not sharing this with y'all because it's like, I just want us to utilize we have more resources now than we ever have. So find something that works for you. Commit to it. See the process through and grow from it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying I want to put put myself out there as well, with the amazing resources, amazing groups, amazing things. But we got so many more people to reach. That's why what's on the inside of you is so important. And I know we say, oh, the market's so saturated. It's 15 people doing women's and 50,000 people doing women's empowerment. There's 50,000 doing this. There's 50,000 books. There's this so-and-so, so-and-so. But yeah, there's somebody that's still suicidal. There's somebody who still won't get it until you open up your mouth. until they hear it from you. So it doesn't matter how many people and how many things are doing, it's still room for you. There's still room for you. There's still room for whatever it is, your gift, your purpose, and you becoming your best self and presenting yourself to the world. That's still needed. All right. Okay, y'all. I think that's all my questions. I hope that helped y'all. This is it for tonight. I appreciate y'all so much. I thank y'all so much for your time. I'm going to shoot you all a follow-up email so that, you know, if there's any more conversations or dialogues that we can have, we'll do that as well. But have an amazing night. Thank y'all for your patience. Thank you for tuning in. And I will be sure to follow up with you all soon.